Hey everyone, I hope that you are having a good day and that you are staying safe and healthy. So, today's video, we are going to be taking a look at Leia's final moments. Of course, this is her big moment in the Rise of Skywalker when she calls out to her son Ben Solo in the Force, and this ultimately is the catalyst that leads him to be redeemed. So jumping in, obviously everybody's got their own opinion on the Rise of Skywalker, but one thing that they were limited in that was out of their control was the footage that they had of Carrie Fisher as Leia. This is one of the strengths of the novelization, that the novel, Ray Carson was able to bring life and insight into the character of Leia for this final chapter of the Skywalker saga. Throughout the novel, we get to see what Leia is thinking, and there's many moments where we dive into her thoughts and what's going on with her character, whether it's watching Rey training and thinking about her training with Luke, or even her own insecurities when it comes to training Rey as a Jedi. We find out that throughout the novel, throughout the Rise of Skywalker, Luke is actually communicating with Leia. And in the final moment of Leia's life, the moment that she realizes she needs to reach out in the Force to her son in one last desperate attempt to bring him back home, she hears from Luke. So I'll read a section of it so that you can kind of get where this scene went. Leia, there is only one thing left to do. Galaxy save us from Big Brother, she thought. Luke said, you must try to reach Ben. So we see here in the novel that it's actually Luke who prompts Leia to reach out one final time to her son. The novel goes on and Leia kind of reflects back to first Ben as a kid, and then it slowly goes to a moment where she realizes what it's going to cost her. Luke actually shares with her a Force vision of his final moments on Act 2 when he was projecting himself onto Crate. It'll take everything from her. But as Leia is thinking through this, she first then worries about the people she's leaving behind. She worries about the Resistance. She can't leave the Resistance. There is still a war to be won. But then as she thinks back to her days in the Rebellion with Han and Luke, original trilogy stuff, she realizes that the best thing she can do for people like Poe and for Rey and Finn, once she moves on, that'll be the biggest lesson that they can learn from her now, is how to carry on the fight without her. Luke is still there, and he prompts her, Leia, and Leia continues to think. She even thinks about her own father, Anakin. If Anakin could come back from the dark side, then surely Ben could. She knew that her son was tempted by the light, and after thinking through all of this, she finally decides, okay, this is what I need to do. So she reached out in the Force, let it surround her, fill her. She thought the effort would exhaust her, but she felt a momentary rush of strength and energy as she connected with every living thing. She reached deeper and deeper. With all the life and love and hope and forgiveness in her being, she called out, Ben. Her last thought washed through the galaxy like a wave. She was vaguely aware of Han's metal clattering to the floor, a whir of sadness from R2-D2, and finally a surge of welcome from Luke, who was not alone. This moment is huge. Like, when I read this first, my mind was blown. Luke has a big role in this. She's welcomed by not just Luke, but others. We don't know who they are. We can assume that Anakin is one of them. We can assume that maybe Obi-Wan. Anyways, I really enjoyed what the novel added to this scene. It was huge. It was a big moment. It was the end of Princess Leia, and having some of this insight from the novel was cool. Let me know in the comments below if you could have seen one Force ghost in addition to Leia and Luke. Who would it have been? Would it have been Anakin? Obi-Wan? Yoda again? I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, make sure you leave a like and subscribe for more Star Wars content.